Welcome back to New Beginnings, our short little D&D campaign. Last we saw our trio, they were drowning. They were all alone in the ocean, sinking to its depths.
Not true. I saw two giant eyes.
Yes, Bard. Bard, before passing out in the cold waters, saw two glowing eyes. Now, I need you all to make everyone roll Constitution checks for me.
I hope that's right. Also, I will not question what that sound was.
7.
Nice.
Tell me how horribly I drown.
Well, fortunately for you, that wasn't a drowning check, so.
Oh boy.
We start with Bakrees. Your eyes slowly opening. You hear the waves washing up on shore, lying on sand. What the heck happened? Bakrees, you sit up. You are on a beach.
Oh. God damn it.
And Scath, you wake up shortly after hearing the waves. Your mouth is full of sand.
Go to fucking Laundria, they said it would be fucking fine. It said, bunch of fucking assholes. What the fuck am I?
You two are not all that far apart from each other. Just on the beach, you can see each other. You're not. You're like 30 feet from each other.
Shit, you still alive over there?
I mean, as alive as I'm gonna get. I mean, hell, I guess we earned our own little vacation here on a beautiful tropical island here.
As you two start talking, you hear a voice. Oh shit! One of them's alive. And you two look over, and you see two men standing over Bard's body. Who?
God damn, I'm jealous.
Bard is also face down in the sand right now, and these two guys are standing over him. One of them is like literally has like kind of Bard by his horn, like holding him. And he just, when he sees you guys, he just drops and Bard's head falls back into the sand. And Bard, that's about when you wake up. The last thing you remember is staring down those two massive eyes.
What the fuck?
Oh, look, this one's alive too. Oh yeah,
You
I'll
the
be
one telling me not to swear so much.
I want everyone to roll quick perception checks for me.
Perception. I'm as dull as a
Doing
rock.
good. The sea looks good.
15. The guy who's on the ground facing the sand notices more than you two.
Oh boy. Bard, you see one of these guys is holding Bakrees' pike, and the other has Scath's longbow. One of them just like, these two men are kind of like slightly below average height, both wearing leather armor, each carrying short bows and daggers. One of them is probably about in his mid-30s, has short brown hair. The other slightly taller, probably the same age. He looks like at one point he probably had a bowl cut, but it has since become a little like overgrown and messy.
Before looting the dead, I suggest that you check that they're actually dead.
Oh, most of the things that wash up on this beach are already dead, so we didn't really bother.
Well, you care to give some of those things back, considering we're not dead?
Oh, sure. The one with they both walk over and return your items. Sorry about the misunderstanding.
Well,
Not
I
a
just
problem.
appreciate the honesty.
Tell me where are we? What island is this?
The taller one. Oh, you're on the Copper Coast of Aladria.
Fuck! And I'm just gonna throw a firebolt up into the air.
They both kind of like jump at the fire. It's like, oh, one of those caster fellows. I should have guessed the horns. I hear you you folk kind of yeah. The taller one. So what exactly are you? Where'd you come from? And is there a wreckage that needs looting?
I mean, unless you got some way to get to the bottom of the ocean, I don't think there's much of a record you're gonna be looting.
Ah, damn. Me and
You
my
all get a bunch of weird small storms that kind of seem to move around a bit faster than they should around these parts.
the weather can be a bit crazy on occasion, but I mean, not really much different than anywhere else.
Any walking sea barnacles? Suits of armor with nobody inside.
The, the one by you, Scath, just kind of like cocks his head a little bit, like you swallowed too much seawater there.
Enough ale.
How calm do the seas look? Like
Very
if they're-
calm. You would look out there and not realize that there had been a storm. Although you do see a few pieces of wood drifting in the waves.
You could go check out there. Still coughing up a bit of sand.
We looked just a bit of wood.
You know, last I checked, breathing in sand isn't really that healthy.
Neither is breathing in water.
Oh, let me tell you, my mother used to tell me that all the time.
Are you a doctor?
No.
Not you. A shiny one over there talking about his health and what he thinks is best for others.
Well, I mean, I think I know my way around an injury or two. You know, if there's a giant hole and it's kind of leaking a lot of blood, I can assume that it's probably not that good.
So I assume you were all heading somewhere on a ship of some sort when like I living part. I don't quite know what happened, but perhaps we can at least point you in the right direction.
Yeah, we were headed towards Aladria. Disclaimer, I'm not quite sure if that's the correct name off the top of my head.
Well, yeah, you're in Aladria, but you're at least 20 miles from the nearest port.
Well, that's a start.
Looks like we made it, guys. Mission complete.
Where is it
Great.
you two are from?
We both reside in a shed not too far from Port Brunswick. Just a little bit to the northwest of here.
You walk all the way down here?
Yeah, me and my brother Thorther there, we're hunters.
More like scavengers, it seems.
Well, there hasn't been too much to hunt as of late, so we believe the goblins probably scared them all off.
When he says goblins, I'm going to take a look towards that forest and listen.
All right, roll perception.
Six.
Can I
There-
join him on that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can also roll perception.
I guess
Roll
just for the hell of it.
20. You're the best.
Oh boy.
The person
So-
with no attitude rolled the best.
Bard and Scath both tried to listen out towards the forest, and then you both realize you have sand in your ears.
Hmm.
Bakrees, you listen as well, and the two men just kind of stop and like listen with you, but you don't hear anything. Doesn't seem to be anything of note.
I'm pulling out my dagger and just getting that sand out of my ears.
I assume if you were on a ship, you would have been heading to a port of some kind.
You would assume
Well-
correctly. I didn't know where we were going.
So you get on a boat without even knowing where the fuck you're heading to.
Never heard of an adventure before.
Not of that situation.
Adventuring types. Then I assume you must have been heading towards one of the bigger ports, Meyerfall, probably.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, that might have come up with the conversation with the captain
Yeah.
amidst.
I
meeting.
suggest more of a squeaky door needs a bit of oil suggestion.
Well, if you want to head up to Meyerfall, that would be to the northwest of where we are here, but probably a couple days travel. If Tharthor, how far is Meyerfall from here? Oh, we'd be about starts counting on his fingers. Oh, a little over 100 miles.
Did you just count to 100 on your fingers?
I counted by tens, but yes.
I'm going to reach into my pouch and pull out a gold coin. Grab his hand and kind of put it in it. There's got to be a tavern, a place to drink, a resting spot along the way. Maybe a place we can get some horses. What do you know about down here?
If you want a tavern, Port Brunswick has the Bad Ore. It's not the best tavern in the world, but it's a tavern. It serves alcohol.
Well, they get us drunk.
Oh, absolutely. Osri's a bit of a shifty fellow, but an all right barkeep. But if you're looking for horses, you might be able to find some down at Fort Gawain to the southeast. It's an old military fort, but they occasionally sell old horses they ain't using.
What do you think, boys? Keep on land and head to the fort, or head to the port and travel the rest of the way on sea?
We tried to look on sea. Didn't turn out very well.
True. Though I'm not sure that was the best captain we got ourselves affiliated with.
Fair enough.
These days, with all the various ports and everything, you could just as easily travel on land, find a carriage.
That is true.
I mean, we just kind of washed up on the beach. I doubt we have carriage money, though.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but you don't seem to have the best luck when it comes to seafaring.
You got that
He's got
right.
a point.
Well, it's Zarek, we should probably get back to the shed, check the traps. Oh yes, not too hopeful that we'll find anything, but Zarek kind of looks to you. Zarek being the taller of the two, the bowl cut guy, just kind of. You can choose to travel along the beach if you wish. It'll end eventually, but it's personally, I like the atmosphere a little bit more than the old trail, but there is the old trail, both of which are fine options for getting to either Fort Gawain or Port Brunswick.
I wanna take a closer look at the way he's saying these things.
Are you looking to roll insight?
I am, indeed. Yay,
Nat
roll
one, you
20.
believe it.
Yay, roll 20.
You I want to take another quick glance at them, see if they have any like tattered clothing, anything that looks like in need of slight repair.
All right. That would be a perception. As Scath, like, you just want to trust this man.
Oh yeah.
Not one.
Everything looks like sand.
I'm almost tempted to use the dagger to clean the sand out of my eyes.
Sand.
Tharthor kind of looks at you. He's just like,
I'm
maybe
holding the dagger and just getting it close to my eye.
if you're looking to get sand out of there, you might as well just take a dip. He's kind of backing away slightly as he sees this tiefling looking like he's about to stab himself.
I'll head into the water and just splash my face with water.
Right. Well, we're gonna head and check our traps and everything.
Can I check our own armors to see if anything looks tattered?
None of you. These two are gonna walk off, but unless you guys want to say anything as they walk off, but there is something a little bit amiss with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Safe travels.
Oh, you too.
My coin pouch.
Everything's there.
Okay.
But that's what's weird. You guys were in a shipwreck. You couldn't see land before. You washed up on shore. You shouldn't have all your things. Yet your pike, your longbow, Scath, even there's not a quiver that you had when the ship went down that is missing right now.
A quiver?
Sorry, say that again.
You have all your arrows in the quiver. You went through a shipwreck. That's a little weird.
Yeah, they should be floating.
That seems supernatural to me.
I tell them about the two eyes that I saw.
Tell them about the massive dark shape in the water and the two glowing reptilian eyes.
How wet am I?
Moderately so, but you feel like you've probably been drying in the sun for a bit, and you guys notice it looks like sunrise.
Mm,
It was late afternoon when the ship went down.
Honestly, I just think we should be happy that we're alive.
Yeah, I'm not.
Are
gonna read
you
into it.
absolutely certain that we are?
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm gonna walk over and punch him. Did you feel that?
I don't know. Roll to find out. I don't know.
My punch does 0 damage.
It's like someone brushed a leaf against your cheek.
I'm not sure. A little weak tap on the cheek. I may not notice it.
Would you like them to try it?
Yeah, can I try?
Sure.
Okay, let's see. What would I roll just for a simple punch and right on the fucking
Like
nose?
standing there kind of pinching my arm, just kind of seeing if there's any sign of coloration that comes through and
You don't roll anything. You just flat damage based off your strength, unless you're a monk.
Or have Tavern Brawler or any of the other things that boost your unarmed damage.
In strength, just 5.
You deal 6 damage.
Yeah, Scath, you just get decked.
okay. Okay.
Your lips bleeding a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm still bleeding.
All right. You guys have all gotten a long rest, by the way.
Oh,
nice.
well that's good. That makes that decision a bit easier.
Yeah, so Bard in particular realizes Huh. I feel like all my magic's back.
That's very curious. Thank you.
Just shouting to the ocean.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, creepy eyes.
Oh boy.
Are you
So,
sure we haven't made a pact with the devil?
who knows?
Look at me.
I don't like that answer.
What do you think?
I'm okay. So this is a race thing now, huh?
All right. So, according to Zarek and Tharthor, you basically have a few options here. You can head towards Port Burnswick. You know that they have a tavern. And you can also travel to Fort Gawain, which is opposite the direction of Meyerfall, but you can potentially get horses. And you can either travel along the beach and then get into the path, or you can just look for the path right now, which from what they described is just a little bit inland.
I prefer the beach. You only really have to watch one side.
Yeah, the beach.
Haven't you ever heard of seafaring monsters?
Heard about, seen about, been about.
So
Still.
I suggest we watch both sides.
Very well.
But I would like to go to try to get the horse, but quite honestly, would we even be able to afford it? I have 15 gold to my name, and you guys?
Indeed.
I doubt it. I think what would be best is to head for a tavern for now. Try to get some, get a lay of the land.
Well, no use burning good daylight. I'll keep an eye on the trees.
I'll keep an eye on the seas.
What does Bakrees keep an eye on?
On D's.
Some booty.
All right. So you guys are going to travel along the beach towards Port Burnswick or Brunswick.
Yes.
All right. So you guys travel. It's pleasant. You have the gentle sound of the waves at your side. There's a slight breeze, but nothing too significant. And I mean, despite the fact you all just had a near-death experience, you feel rested and able to keep going. So, do you all stay silent as you walk, or do you converse?
So where are you two people from?
Oh, you know, most boring fucking place. Geraldalis, you know, all those rich assholes sit around doing nothing. Yeah. That's why I'm not there anymore. Easy to get bored over there. Easy indeed. And hey, sounds like they got some goblins to hunt over here, so why not? Why not? And it's all an adventure, you know. You gotta live your life as if each day would be your last. And I think yesterday may have been that day. Still, I'm still not sure. My lips still bleeding. Maybe I'm still alive. What about you? Where are you from?
Little bit of here, a little bit of there.
Your parents give you that name, Bard? Is it a cruel trick?
I prefer not to talk about it, but it was a name that was given to me.
And well, what about you, Quiet One? You got a pretty nice set of armor there. What are you all about?
What do you mean? What am I all about?
I mean,
Obviously, you're about stabbing things, but what else do you do?
why were you on that boat?
Well, came here for money. What does anyone else get on a boat for?
True.
To travel the seas. Quite adventurous, don't you think?
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
As you all walk forward, I want you all to make a perception check.
I don't like this.
Hmm.
Oh God.
I don't.
Bakrees, you see seagulls in the distance. They're still here.
I see birds.
Bard, you're kind of looking at Scath and Bakrees as you talk. Scath, you look forward and you see something in the sand ahead of you, kind of half buried.
Hold up. There's got something over there. Pointed out to him.
Does it look humanoid?
It does. It looks like a suit of armor. Roll initiative.
No.
God,
no.
Before that, firebolt. Can I get a reaction shot?
Arrows
firebolt?
don't work.
Roll initiative as you see the suit of armor crawl up out of the sand.
4. Okay. 4, 5.
Nat 20.
What the?
Fuck you.
There we go.
What is with these min maxes right here?
I told you I'm cursed.
All right. All right. Let me just change the music quick. Oh boy.
All right, I got an excellent idea. I'll take each of their legs and throw them like boomerangs at the suit of armor.
I will join the suit of armor in kicking your ass.
The suit of armor got an 8.
Do I still have the ship rope, or did I lose that at sea?
You do not have it. You
Okay.
have all of your starting equipment. None of that seems out of place. All right. As we start with Scath, the armor stands up.
Well, I knew I shouldn't have asked about it. Let's see if let's give it a test. I'm gonna go ahead and pull another arrow. Take a bit more time to try to aim to get a center mass shot off here, and see if the arrows still just are bouncing off or not.
See if this armor is doing its job.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta remember how to make my sheet work here.
That hits
It bounces off.
for 10 piercing damage as your arrow goes between some of the plates and you hear it cling on the other side.
All right.
And the armor kind of shakes a little bit. And we're up to Bard.
I'm gonna step behind the Dragonborn and hand him my chest. Trust me on this. Throw this at him. And I like to ready an action to cast enlarge on the chest when he throws it.
Excellent.
Nice.
Bakrees.
So, what was I given to throw?
A 25-pound chest.
Oh. Well, I guess I'm throwing a chest.
All right. Make a ranged weapon attack. And I'm going to give you advantage because once that thing enlarges, it's going to almost be hard to miss. So it would be dexterity. I guess this would be an improvised weapon, so it would be straight dex.
So just a dex roll.
Yes. Oh,
That's
God.
a saving.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Still off.
Still not quite. So you throw the chest, and Bard, when you cast Enlarge, it enlarges it so much that it drags on the sand and stops in front of the armor.
Oh, no.
Can you not throw a chest?
And that chest
Can you let
is
me
now...
give consent before you do things to me?
Hey.
The chest is now just there. There is a big chest. We're up
I
to
got
the
a home for us to live in.
Oh my god. Could you... The spell expires while you're still inside.
Hey, I put an obstacle in front of it.
He still has just enough movement to get up to Scath,
Goody.
and he's gonna make his natural one,
Nope.
Wow, 2 natural ones.
the double nat one. I am going to roll severity on that.
I told you I'm cursed.
Now, just to explain how I like to do severity, if you get a nat 1 and I see many things that can go wrong, I'll roll for severity, with being closer to 1 being more severe than a 100. If it's above 75, it's just treated as a normal failure. If it is between 25 and 75, I treat it as a normal failure, but I fluff it so it's embarrassing for you. And below 25 is worst possible outcome.
What's a nat 1?
If he gets a 1, he just explodes.
With my luck, it might.
Oh.
95, just treat it as a regular failure, as he's obviously full of sand, so it seems a little bit hard for him to move properly. And his second attack, better, but not great,
Nope.
as you just kind of easily just duck and move out of the way. And we're up to Scath again.
Okay. See the arrow through the crease. I see the dents in the armor. Ugh. I'm not even sure if these physical attacks are really doing anything, to be honest. Yeah, I shot him, but I'm not seeing blood. And blood is a normal way for me to know that things are dying.
Why won't it bleed?
It's probably like leaking sand a little bit, but
Oh yeah. Every time it moves, sand is just falling out of the armor.
Yeah, I think. I think I'm gonna have to, as he's moving over, would I have time to drop the bow and pull out my short sword, one of my short swords again?
Yes, if you drop the bow.
Does he have the helm, or is it just?
He still has the helmet on and everything. He's not armed. It is just this suit of armor.
Do I guess instead of maybe before drawing the short sword, even though he's right here, do I have a moment to like look him over just to see if I see any kind of weird gems or ornaments or markings like insignia or anything like that?
Since he's right there, I will give you a perception check.
Okay.
You see sand.
Looks like he fared as well as we did. Would that be my action then, to study him?
No, I just gave you that as a free action.
Okay, not seeing anything, I'm going to, I think I want to get away from him. So yeah.
Unless you can take the disengage action, which would prevent you from taking an attack of opportunity, or you can risk the attack of opportunity and just move and keep your action.
I think I'm gonna disengage. I'll leave my bow there because I was still planning on grabbing the sword. So I'm gonna kind of have that moment where I look over him. I still don't understand what I'm fighting. So the bow's in sand, and I just try to quickly get back Probably, if possible, around to the other side. I'm not sure if I can go that far.
Yes. Each square represents 5 feet, and for your movement, you have 30 feet, and you can move through friendly tokens, but you can't end your turn on a friendly token.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah, I'll actually just move behind the Dragonborn fellow that seems to be a bit stronger than I am to engage.
I'm your dad.
Hey, Daddy, I'm not seeing it. It's just a big suit of armor and it's full of sand. I'm not sure if that can help you in some way, but yeah, it's full of sand.
I'll just punt it back in the sea.
All right. So we're up to, that's your turn?
Yeah.
All right. So we're up to Bard.
Okay. I'm gonna move. Oh, wrong. I'm gonna move about to right there, and I'm gonna cast Shatter in that little
no.
square right there.
All right. Okay.
She has disadvantage for the saving throw.
Oh, that's right. I forgot Shatter has it is a Constitution saving throw.
Yes.
That's a big ol' 6.
He makes it. No.
Oh, you're the Bard's the worst sorcerer ever.
Hey, I can hit my flame bolts.
All right. So, Bakrees and Scath, Bard, describe like what you do as you cast Shatter on this poor suit of armor. Like, I assume there are some verbal and somatic components, like. Hello?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no problem.
I'm gonna do a little arcane speak. My hands moving a little, and I'm gonna do like a little fusrodal towards him.
Yeah, so Bakrees and Scath, you see Bard do that, and there is like, it sounds like thunder just happened right in front of you. It is loud. As the armor flies apart.
With only 9 points of damage.
Yeah. He kept all of the damage from the previous encounter.
I would like to mention I got 9 points of damage on 3d8s.
It was enough. All right. Unfortunately, as you guys see as the thunder goes off, the sand shakes and blows everywhere. The armor pieces scatter. You guys see a little bit past the armor. It is the was on in the ship.
You cut out there for me.
Ah, fuck!
Where's the sword?
You
The
do
sword
not
is
see.
coming.
You do not see the sword.
It's coming. I know it. I feel it in my loins.
Oh boy.
Quick.
All
quick,
right.
Boy. Touch it. Touch my loins. Feel the fear.
Roll initiative for the rug. A 15. All right.
Wait, I'm not done yet.
Oh, you're not done?
How far away is he? How far away is the rug?
The rug is 80 feet from you. He's down the beach, but
Quicken spell, firebolt.
ooh, very nice. This rug gets up as it hears the sonic boom. That'll hit.
6 points of fire damage.
Should. Interesting. All right, so your firebolt blasts the rug and singes some of the little frills in the corner. It is the rug's turn. The rug. I'll have to double check this later to see if this was right, but a movement speed of 10.
Yes, that's right. It's not a flying rug. It kind of just shuffles.
All right, so the rug is shuffling after you, taking the dash action to move up. The little tassels are like shaking angrily. Bakrees, it is your turn.
Also, can I dispel the magic on the chest?
Does it say you have to use a bonus action for that?
I actually don't know.
Double check that, and if it says it requires a bonus action, I'll leave it. If not, I'll just give it to you as a free action, and I'll make the big square disappear. But for now, we'll move on to Bakrees as use. Yeah. I actually think the carpet may have gotten cover from the giant chest now that I see how it's lined up. But oh well, Bakrees, there's an angry rug.
Well, now I've seen it all. And then pretty much my only action is he's gonna put his pike away and pull out his shield and hand axe instead.
All right. Scath, we are back up to you. Angry rug approaches.
Yeah. I want to head back over and pick up my bow.
All right.
And am I still able to take a shot?
Yes, I think picking it up. I'm just gonna say it's a bonus action. I'll have to double check that rule later, but I'll give it to you for now.
Am I able to see it?
Yeah, since I forgot to do that previously, I'm just gonna rule it like that. You have a regular shot on the approaching angry rug.
Oh wow! How
Excellent.
do I roll, or how do I erase the circle?
Should just be able to click on it and then delete.
Leaky.
All right. So your arrow goes straight through its center. It is still approaching, but the tassels kind of grab at the arrow like it's wounded.
I just want to kill something that bleeds.
Bard, it is your turn again.
And it actually doesn't say whether or not what it is to dispel it. It's a concentration spell.
All right, I'm going to say it makes sense to me that it doesn't take an action to not concentrate or something. So, yep, that's fine. It is shrunk back down to a normal chest size. Oh, and that's definitely going to hit. This poor rug.
1 point of fire damage.
You singe the edge just a little bit. And you see one of the tassels shake at you, Bart.
As a bonus action, could I make a perception check? I'm looking for that fucking sword.
Yes, I'll let you make a perception check for the sword.
14.
You do not see anything else, minus a few pieces of driftwood in the water.
I don't like this.
All right, we're up to the rug. And he's still charging after you. And we're up to Bakrees.
Quite simply, I'm gonna use my breath attack.
Oh, your acid? You're gonna do a
Yes.
straight line of acid?
Yep.
Yes. And he has to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yes, and I believe acid against objects is automatic max damage.
Ooh. Yeah, I think that's right. I recall acid having some sort of special property of that nature. So, what is the DC on your breath weapon?
2d6.
That's the damage. I want to see DC 11 saving throw.
Yes.
All right. It has okay dex, so we'll see. 14, he makes it.
6 points of acid damage.
It kind of twists while it's kind of standing in place, and you don't quite get all of the acid blast, but some of it catches the rug, and you see the edge opposite the one Bard singed with his firebolt kind of dissolve. Scath, the rug is still coming.
This feels a bit too, oh, whatever. Gonna just fire another shot.
$14 will hit. For 5 piercing damage as another arrow goes in next to the other one. The rug kind of like holds the tassels out to either side in kind of a come at me bro motion.
What was wrong with that ship?
The captain made a lot of stupid purchases because things were cheap.
How hurt is that thing looking?
It's burning up on one side, it's dissolving on the other, it's got 2 arrows through it, it's not looking good.
I'm gonna throw another flame bolt at it.
Flame bolt that rug. 20 hits.
Haven't missed the flame bolt. 2 fire damage.
That's just enough. As the firebolt hits it in the center and a hole begins burning, the rug flops down onto the sand, and you see just a few pieces of its tassel like stick up as if it's trying to flip you the bird, and then just goes limp. Combat has officially ended.
I'm gonna head over to the rug, cut off that tassel, and then I'm gonna cast Mending on the rug to see what happens.
Some of the damage repairs. Doesn't seem to animate again.
Hey, we got a fancy rug, guys.
You want to carry that?
I could sell it for a fair bit of gold, I assume.
Singed, arrowed, and fucking melting? I don't think so.
Mending. It
You mend the
even-
rug. You mend the rug. It still smells like acid.
Okay. Hey, Captain bought it. Must have been worth a pretty penny as a normal rug. And I'll go grab my chest and put it in the chest.
I'd say we gather up that armor too.
The
Right.
pieces are everywhere. that shatter spell did its name justice.
I'm gonna look for just the helm.
Roll. I would say perception for this one. I hate to keep using perception, but I feel like that makes more sense than 19. You find it kind of in some of these bushes back here, still with a dent in its head from where Scath hit it, a dent in the other side of the helm from where it got hit with the golf club pike.
Would I be able to fit it around my horns?
Not quite. There's just no spot for your horns to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out a bit of rope, cut off about 6 inches, turn it into twine, and just wrap it or make a little sleeve to have it on the back of my neck.
All right. You can add 1 damaged helm to your inventory.
I'll cast Mending on it as well.
You fix the dents on each side. I mean, besides the fact it did try to kill you, it is a nice suit of armor.
I suggest we grab the stuff so that we can actually sell it.
Not too bad of an idea, I suppose.
All right, Scath and Bakrees both roll perception checks as well. All right, so Scath, you get a gauntlet, and Bakrees, you get one of the boots. That's all you're able to find.
Oh, dude,
I
it'll be
give the
dug.
chest over to the Dragonborn. I'm like, could you please carry this for me? It's quite heavy.
Excuse me.
I asked politely.
Do I look like a workhorse to you?
Kinda.
In the nicest way.
I mean, you look muscular, like you've done quite a bit of work.
I'll give you a pass on that one.
Do you take the chest?
No.
All right.
I'm gonna just be dragging the chest along. How much that rug weigh?
Probably only about like. Boy, what do rugs weigh?
They weigh a shit ton.
They do. It wasn't a horribly thick rug. It was pretty ornate, but not super. It wasn't a doormat, so it wasn't. It was more decorative than anything. I'd say 10 pounds for the rug.
10 pounds? Okay, I'm not at my carrying capacity
All right.
because that's something I actually have to worry about.
All right. I'm just realizing that you guys are actually. I made a mistake with setting this map up. I should have flipped it vertically because you were on the southern coast. Oh well.
Oh, well.
Now you just have to reshape the entire world.
Oh, absolutely. I'm the DM. I have the power. All right. So you all travel along, and eventually the beach kind of does end and it becomes more rock than anything. But you can see a spot where the trail that they were talking about is visible from where you guys are. It's nothing fancy. It's a dirt trail.
Taking lead. I'm gonna step up onto it.
Do you guys want to see if there's any notable tracks or markings on the trail?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That would be a survival check. All right. 17. Scath, there are
20.
20. Why is the sorcerer good at this?
Just for the hell of it. Yeah, dumb.
Bakrees, you kind of, it's a worn trail. Looks like any other worn trail. Scath, you and Bard both notice there are kind of these two fairly fresh grooves on either side of this trail, kind of indicating a cart with some equipment, because obviously it was heavy, either equipment or cargo, passed through here not too long ago. Bard, you notice you only see one. It looks like it stepped on the trail and stepped off. You see a strange, it's a relatively small footprint with small marks where the toes would be that indicate claws. But you were not quite able to tell exactly what it came from.
I'm gonna point it out to the other two. Do you know what creature may have left this?
My favorite enemy happens to be goblins and orcs, so would I be able to check that track and see if it seems familiar?
It's about the right size, but it's not a goblin track. Bakrees, I want you to roll knowledge nature with advantage.
Knowledge nature with advantage.
You didn't notice the track until they pointed it out, but now that you see that, that's a kobold track.
I swear to fucking God, a Zarpo's here.
Character from our other campaign.
Scale claws. Yep. That's got to be a kobold. Watch your pockets.
Kobold. I haven't run into many of those before, if ever.
think we had a lot of those where I came from either.
Yeah,
Something that
kobolds
bleeds
were,
that we can kill though. So
Yeah, kobolds were pretty rare in Dryadalis. Dragonborns too. Reptilians were not all that common. Bakrees, you definitely are familiar with kobolds.
Fucking bitches.
You served with a few in your time.
They're dumb.
Yeah, 90% of the time they end up being messengers and everything. They're very rarely seen as serious combatants. Though in a group, they can be a bit of a pain.
They're like mosquitoes, but more annoying.
Mosquitoes with spears.
Precisely.
do we think that there was more than one?
You only see the one track.
Was it stepping on or off of the trail?
It literally is like half a track stepping kind of on the edge of the trail.
So walking with the trail.
Walking with the trail behind this cart.
Okay.
Hmm.
Does it look about as fresh as the cart, or does it look older? What?
It looks just as fresh.
So we think they're moving something, or
Gotta be.
I believe the kobold might be moving with them. Or stalking
after
them.
them.
One of the two. You know them better than I. Would they be the type that would stalk a trader?
Naturally. They're greedy little fuckers.
Would they be the type to stalk a trader and win?
And win? Worth checking out. Never know. Could be trouble for this trader, or no, maybe the trader's trouble's already over and the kobold now has troubles moving everything. We can make a penny off this.
we have any idea about how long ago this might have been?
Not that long ago, actually. Like less than an hour.
I suggest we pick up the pace then.
Doesn't hurt to take a peek.
Might as well.
All right, so you guys.
I'll kind of move ahead of those two, kind of stepping off the trail, and try to move at a bit of a quicker pace to see if I can get eyes on. Now that there's a hunt, I'm all about it.
Nice.
Okay, I'm gonna pick my chest up off the ground. Put it back on my back. Let's go.
All right. So you guys continue forward, and once you kind of get away from the beach a little bit, it's a little bit more, it's a bit more of a woodland area, but the trees are somewhat sparse. Like you see really thick wooded areas off in the distance, but at least around this trail, you get like thin copses of trees kind of near it, but you get the impression that this trail was picked here because of the lack of foliage and everything to get in the way, which is great for traveling, not so much for
Being
these
sneaky.
little yeah, you're kind of out in the open with these batches of trees on the edge of the trail. Scath, if you were back home, this would be prime goblin ambush territory.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a random firebolt into the forest. Because I don't believe it can set things on fire.
Maybe that's not draw more attention.
Roll the hit.
I have to roll to hit a random spot in the forest?
Yeah.
11.
You throw your fireball into the forest. and it stops a little bit shorter than you expected it to, and you just see this bird like steaming fall out of the tree.
I got dinner, guys.
Jesus.
Yeah, as soon as that sound goes off, I want to duck down, find a bush, and just kind of survey the area. Kind of take a moment to hold my breath and just look and watch.
All right, roll stealth and then perception. All right, 13 and perception. As you kind of dive into the bush, unfortunately, it's like Fortnite. It's the one bush here.
Right?
But as you look around, there's a bit of a bend in the trail ahead of you that kind of is blocked by some of the trees. But you don't see, minus all the birds flying off now, you don't really see anything else around you. In fact, it's almost eerily quiet.
I'm going to pick up my bird carcass.
Yeah, you can go get the fried bird.
This either of you
joking about dinner.
either of you been to the Copper Coast before?
Nope.
Great.
That's how I said this, sir.
I've never known a goblin that wasn't attracted to well, outsiders, so keep your eyes on. It's a bit too quiet. I'll rise up out of the bush and keep walking towards the curve in the trail.
All right. So you all continue on this trail for, it feels like hours. Like, you don't know how fast this cart ahead of you is going. There are some spots where the dirt's a little bit looser and tracks are easier to see. You don't see any more kobold tracks. If they are moving with the cart, they seem to be avoiding the trail where they might leave marks. You do see hoof prints in front of the between the cart tracks and spots where it looks like the cart stopped for a brief moment and then continued. And this is going on for quite some time. You guys have time to converse just a tad longer if you wish. Kind of all focused and alert, expecting something to go wrong at any moment.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I'm on a hunt.
Yeah, so far, this is the longest you guys have been in the country without something trying to kill you.
That's unusual.
So, I saw you spit literal acid earlier. That's something common amongst your people.
Fairly common.
Bakrees, you would definitely know that both black scale dragonborns and copper scale dragonborns breathe acid.
I know. He's just not too keen on talking.
All right. All right. So you guys continue. And as you guys move up a bit, you start to hear a bit of a commotion. You hear like a something metallic. You just hear that up ahead of you. There's another bend in the trail. You hear a trickle of water. Do you guys approach cautiously? Do you run to see what it is?
I kind of just put my hand up, say like, hang out for a sec. What do I? There's a couple trees and a few bushes, and that's it. Or what's
Yep.
blocking kind of my angles past the trail?
Just kind of a collection of trees and bushes.
Okay. I'm gonna like look back to them, just put my finger up to my lips, point to myself, like tiptoed, being not knowing nothing about the actual correct way to handle myself with others. Really child like, hey, this is how I would teach a kid. And then make my way towards the most concealing bit of bushes or trees to try to get a look.
The foliage is thin enough where you guys can probably just walk right through it without much of an issue. Is that what you all choose to do?
I'll follow.
All right.
I'm gonna request a 30-second break. I gotta go use the restroom.
All right. We'll take a short break. I will get the next map set up.
That's fine with a short break. I'll be right back.
Right. We'll take like a 5-minute break. We'll be right back once everyone is relieved.
Alrighty.
All right. All right. I had 2 very different encounters set up depending on which path you guys picked. I'm a little bit happy you picked this one.
Well, that's good.
You get to use a map asset I made on Dungeon Painter Studio,
Nice.
which it was surprisingly annoying because I don't know. Dungeon Painter Studio is in beta, and of course, with a beta, you get a lot of weird glitches that you can't quite explain.
Mm-hmm.
If I tried to make something small, which this is, it wouldn't save it correctly. It would save like the top the top left like 4 squares of it for some reason. And to get it to work, I had to put bits of things really far on either side of it and then shrink down the area I actually wanted to save just to the object. It's a little bit strange.
I'm back and I have fucking soda burps, even though I haven't drank any soda.
Where I work, we basically have like unlimited access to soda because they're like, oh yeah, grab a cup, have some soda. Yeah, so I try to limit myself, but there are days where I've chugged like 4 cups of Mountain Dew, and it's just like I have burps for days.
Is your piss still yellow?
Sometimes.
Was it neon green?
Sometimes I like to turn off the light to watch it glow. All right. Are we all set?
Mhm.
All right.
Do have one tiny question. Are we still on for Saturday?
Yes.
15th? Okay.
Yes, the 15th.
All right, that's all.
All right. So, everyone all set? Are we rolling once again?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Excellent.
So, you guys stumble on to this scene. You are in the bottom right corner.
Oh no, that must be the most important character ever. I
Indeed.
mean, he has the whole universal NPC.
King Blue Shell.
Yeah, unfortunately, there isn't. I typically use any art provided as examples from the books to represent various NPCs. Commoners are not important enough to get anything.
Rip.
All right. Yeah, so you guys just see these kobolds with 2 men, each of them forced down to their knees with ropes tied around their wrists. The kobolds are just it's really hard to hear what they're saying. Bakrees, you make out a few words in Draconic. And you see that the 4 kobolds surrounding the bound men. The 2 on the cart here, which seems to be lacking its horses, you can probably assume that they cut the horses free to prevent the cart from getting anywhere. One of them has a crowbar standing on the shoulders of the other kobold and trying to jam it into this metal crate.
All right,
Boys
back
approach
back
this.
back at home. You ever played the drunk wager? Yeah, you send the biggest one out to bring their attention away from whatever it is, the people or the wagon. And when they come to fight you, then us folk with the bows and the flames in his case, we pick them off. Yeah. Oh, I don't know how you have experience. What do you think, Bakrees? What's your thought?
I mean, that doesn't seem like a bad course of action, but at the same time, I'd like to know what's in that case those two trying to simulate a ladder are doing in the back. That's what I'm curious.
True.
So as you look at that metal crate, it's really hard. The edges of the wagon are kind of blocking it a little bit, but you guys are able to see there looks to be holes in that metal crate.
Probably best the crate stays closed. Do you not agree?
At least for now. But, well, shall we start with your little plan of yours?
Well, Bard, you have any insight to offer?
Not really my field of expertise.
I guess let me ask you, gentlemen, this: do we care about those two? And I point to the folks tied up.
I care about the coin purses.
I don't have to be alive for that.
Shouldn't outright rob them.
I'm not necessarily going to kill them for it, but if they happen to die, I do not care.
It's more, will you risk your life for them or not? Just need to know how far we're going with this. If shit hits the deck as it did on the ship, I don't know if I'll be sticking around. Best to be upfront, I think.
I will be getting out of here faster than I can blink.
All right, very very good. I think we're on the same page then. Do what we can, and if we can't, best to live another day.
So you mean to tell me I have to walk out there? You guys will hurl firebolts and arrows, but the moment shit hits the fan, you guys are bye-bye.
I'm happy to hear you're on the same page.
I'm gonna punch him again.
I'm gonna try to move out.
That'll be a roll to hit at this point.
So it would be proficiency plus strength for an unarmed strike.
Efficiency plus strength.
Assuming you're trying to do damage.
No, just more like a shut the fuck up.
All right. Still roll the hit, but you just won't do any damage.
Yeah, it's just strength, right?
I can punch you with all I got.
All right.
No.
Yeah, Scath kind of like ducks out of it this time, seeing it coming, still remembering his lip and his precious modeling career.
At least you didn't
I
touch
see
my
your
hair. Which is just a mess.
Dramatic hair flip.
Sand
right.
flies everywhere.
The two men that you see bound, the one to the right looks to be a dwarf with a thick black beard. The other one appears human, a bit older, beard as well, long shoulder length hair, kind of like dirty blonde color. The dwarf seems to be pleading for his life, while the human is just kind of like, guess this is where I am today.
Got fucking.
Is he Eeyore?
Yeah, I was gonna say it.
But
he kind of has that. He has a less panicked expression.
So, are we all for the plan?
Well.
Can't say I am.
All
I
right.
don't really trust you two that much. So.
Dragonborn, are you?
I'm gonna grab them both by the shoulders and start ushering them out with me.
Oh
I'm
my god.
gonna like, that's not part of the plan, and then I'm gonna tap his armor and cast light on it.
Oh no. Okay, so for the pushing, let's make some Bakrees. Make a strength check, but at disadvantage because you're trying to push two of them. And Scath, roll. Okay, so Bard is using acrobatics to get out of the way. That works. You can maneuver away from Bakrees. Scath, make either athletics or acrobatics check to avoid being pushed.
Yeah, I'll try to like roll off his hand.
You both kind of do. Now Bard,
Can we
roll.
shove him forward?
Yeah, roll to hit with your light. A touch attack.
Actually, since I'm not targeting him, it's an automatic success.
Okay, because you're targeting the armor.
Yep.
Okay, so Bakrees, you go to push them. They both move to the side, and as you you kind of fall out, and your armor is glowing.
They'll be held to pay for this later on.
All
he's
the
just gonna, like, start
kobolds just
shuffling.
turn.
Yeah, he's gonna start shuffling to his feet, just mumbling various.
You'll get 40% of the gold.
Yeah, all the kobolds look over.
Appears I tripped on a stump. Gentlemen,
You shout that in Draconic.
I'm gonna speak the entire time in Draconic, so neither of them know what we're talking about.
All right.
Is he
Uh,
plotting against us?
This one kobold kind of moves up to the edge, and you hear him shout, "Dragonborn, what business do you have?"
Probably. I would if I. I'm gonna say you're an elf, right?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm a human.
I'm gonna say it in Sylvan anyways. You're an archer.
Okay. I'm looking at you very confused.
Bakrees, you combat has not started yet. You can move one square at a time, and I will let you know how they react to you getting closer.
He's gonna, like, his arms aren't like up above his head, but they're kind of like out and like shoulder level as he's walking towards me. He's like, "Well, gentlemen, I don't really mean much harm. I don't care what you're doing. Doesn't bother me. I'm just looking to get past." And then
The
start, like,
kobold
slowly-
kind of eyes you cautiously. Your armor. Why? It glows.
Ah, it's a long tale. It involves a lot of alcohol and a wizard with a gray beard.
Roll deception.
Let's back up. It's good to know my deception is shit.
Nice. Okay, 10. See if this kobold.
Kobolds aren't typically the wisest.
No, he is not. Unfortunately, he's about as good at it as 15.
Wow.
Yeah, the kobold. This kobold in particular, actually, I will show you a quick picture of him.
Hmm.
Unlike the others, this one actually is holding a shield and a spear. No. I know that's magic. I've seen that magic.
I'm gonna get revenge. He's gonna, like, his hands up by his shoulders. He immediately just clasps them together and he goes, "Well, you see, my little scaled friend, I have a
You guys
friend
hear the
over there."
dwarf like constantly shouting. Oh God, please help us! Help us! They came out of nowhere, and this worthless bastard sleeping on the job. No. Yeah, it was. Just and then the kobold kind of waves his spear, and one of the kobolds kicks the dwarf in the ribs, and he shuts up. He
Yes.
continues to just eye Bakrees.
Clasp his hands together and he goes, well, you see, my little scaled friend, I have a friend who's a little bit of an asshole, and he's over there in that bush, actually. I'm going to point out exactly where the tiefling is. And he shoved me
as
over
soon as
to
he
use a
point,
little
as
spell on
soon
my
as he
armor.
points to me, I'm letting off ice knife.
Oh, you're shooting an ice knife?
Quick.
I'll say you both had it makes sense that you both had held actions waiting to shoot, so.
I have a semantics question, having not really done D&D. When something is hunter's marked, do they know?
I
know I have to say something, but do they?
If I recall, a symbol that you can pretty much flavor however you wish literally appears and floats above their head.
Okay, I think that
or I actually think I've seen it flavored differently, but there is some visual representation of the hunter's mark on them.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm going to use a little bit of meta magic as well for twin spells.
Oh no.
One for him, and then one for the area directly behind him, right there. Which I know won't do the piercing, but I'm assuming that I'm able to hit the ground at least.
Yes. So you want to hit him plus the two kobolds behind him.
I'm using ice knife. It has a 10-foot explosion radius.
Okay. Yep. So do your attacks first.
Well, the second one hits. It just doesn't do the piercing. But I can add a D10 if I manage to hit him.
And how far do I know what my range is?
13 to hit him.
Never mind.
That does not hit the shielded kobold. Your ice knife hits his shield and shatters.
Okay, two deck saving saves for all of them, for those three.
All right. And Scath, the longbow has an effective range of 150 feet, and you are well within that.
Yeah, I was looking for hunter's mark, and it's 90 as well.
So okay. All right. So the kobold with the shield, his first deck save is a 21. Second is a 7. So how much damage does he take with that?
I got to roll 3d6. It's not letting me talk for some reason.
That's weird.
3d6.
Yeah, I'm trying to roll 3d6. Okay. 12 for the first one, so 6 points of damage for him, and 3 more d6, which he fails, and 8 points, so 14 points of damage.
All right.
Plus
He
the other
certainly
kobolds.
felt that, and the other two have to make the deck saves as well. So
Yes.
First one, 2 deck saves. Ooh, what was the DC again?
My DC is 13, so he makes both of them.
He makes both of
He
them.
takes 10 points of cold damage.
Oh God, I forgot how. Yeah. So let me quickly make the other guy's saves quick. So he
Takes 12, 4, so 16 points of cold damage.
All right. Let me calculate all that real quick. So you shoot your 2 ice knives. They are kind of like blocked by the one kobold's big shield, but the ice splinters off to either side and totally just blasts the 2 kobolds directly behind him as they both take. Yeah, they're both dead.
Nice.
In Scath, you get your held action.
So I want to cast Hunter's Mark on the one with the shield.
All right.
And take a shot.
All right.
I want to yell out.
Oh,
"I'm
no.
not all about fire."
All right. So roll your critical hit damage and then your 1d6 for Hunter's Mark.
All right.
So 12.
Ow.
And then
And then
14.
2 more. As he kind of like moves his shield a little bit after the ice hits, and he was completely not ready for an arrow to hit him in the side. All right. Everyone roll initiative now.
Is he okay still?
He's up. He does not look okay.
This poor guy.
I feel bad for these kobolds right now.
It bleeds. It bleeds.
All right. So we got Bakrees with a nice 20. We have Scath with his 18. And we have Bard. What? No, I do not want to enable Fog of War.
What, you don't want us to not see the entire map?
An army of drow appear and all cast darkness.
But I have dark vision.
That would actually favor the kobolds.
Quick question: if they get a melee combat with their Dragonborn, would they have disadvantage on all their things because of light sensitivity?
They do.
See, I was thinking ahead for you.
You're a liar.
Not all that bad on their initiative rolls. I should have just done all the normal kobolds as one roll, but being fair, I'll let them express their individuality. The Dragon Shield kobolds rolled very well. Scath, what is your dex?
It is 16.
All right, so you go before the Dragon Shield kobold. Bakrees, you are first.
It's 30 feet to move, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, I mean, with pike in hand, he's just gonna start making his way over, I guess. It's like what?
All right. Are you able to move your token? There you go.
Up there, so.
Taking the dash action is certainly an option as well, where
And
you use your action to get another movement.
is that another 30 feet?
Correct.
Shit.
Does this tree count as cover?
I will do that, at least at the bridge.
I'd say it's half cover, which, if I recall, is a +2 to your AC.
Yay! I have an armor class of 14.
Yay. I know how you feel. My warlock in another game got wrecked because of her low AC. Ironically, by one of the other players. All right. Bakrees, that is your turn. As you charge into battle, pike at the ready.
They gonna die.
Scath, it is your turn.
That seemed to work so well, and I'm seeing blood. So ready, aim, fire, motherfucker. You're gonna die.
All right. Which one you going for?
Mr. Shieldy Pants once more.
Poor kobold. 22 will hit.
And that would be another 1d6.
He kind of turned a bit when you shot him with that first arrow, and you get him in his butt cheek.
Mm-hmm.
11 points of piercing.
So, that kobold. How do you want to flavor your hunter's mark? Do you have a symbol literally floating above his head? Does he look like he just got a new tattoo?
I think, let's see, because I would always go for goblins, so I think there's a mark on his head. Yeah, I think all it is, it's really easy. It's just this X across the forehead.
You have a bullseye to aim for now.
It's almost that, but it's also like I'm marking my kills. I think that would be a way if I was hunting with someone else to say, don't, like, I'm gonna kill this one. It's mine. Don't touch it. X marks the
Very
spot and all
nice.
that. Very basic because he is very basic, but yeah,
Basic bitch.
exactly.
All right. So yeah, that kobold, he kind of like stumbles a little bit. Bakrees, you have, even among kobolds, that kobold is looking pretty pathetic right now.
I mean, they usually do.
All right. Scath, that is your turn.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The kobold dragon shield. Let's see. He's going to he kind of looks back to his one surviving kobold friend. Bard and Scath, you both hear him yell, "Schmentataged!" Which Bakrees, you recognize as "kill them" in Draconic.
Why did they sound German?
You and what army? The army right be. Oh.
That would be a kobold thing. Poor kobolds.
Kind of.
All right. So he's going to move up onto the bridge, kind of looking like he's ready to block Bakrees, and he is going to take the dodge action as he kind of taps on the front of his shield with his spear, looking at you, Bakrees. Kind of a little haggard from the damage he's taken. One of the kobolds by the crate, the one that was on top, drops the crowbar, jumps down. He is going to move to the bank here. And Bakrees, you see him pull out a sling with a small rock loaded on it. As he throws his sling. 11.
Would he have disadvantage as well because the sunlight?
Oh, that's right. I forgot. They do have sunlight sensitivity. So that's a 6. As the rock goes just flying over your head, Bakrees. You can see that he's squinting.
That's not gonna go over well.
Oh god. The kobold by the kobold that remains by the oh, wrong kobold actually. The one by the two men takes out a dagger and stabs the Aura man.
Well,
Just kind of stabs him. The guy's wearing leather armor, but doesn't really seem to help as the kobold just stabs him, and then moves over to the dwarf, getting ready to stab him. All right, Bard, we are at your turn.
I'm gonna cast sleep Samuel
Oh.
Jackson says, "Go the fuck to sleep."
Oh boy. All right. Roll that sleep.
19, starting from lowest to the highest.
Oh my god, that is enough. So it's 19 points to distribute among all targets, correct?
Correct. Yes.
And are all of the kobolds in your range?
All of the kobolds are in my range.
I assume that means the dwarf is also in your range.
Yes.
All right. Unfortunately, the dwarf is the first one to fall asleep. Followed by...
The shield master might, because he's pretty fucking hurt.
Yeah, the shield... He has his shield up, ready... Oh, wrong symbol. Ready to defend, and then he just falls face first.
Ah, come on, I marked him and everything. That was mine.
I didn't really target anyone.
I'm not
All right,
sure how that works.
You do not have quite enough points to get the other kobolds, although the one that threw the rock kind of staggers a little bit, in addition to squinting. I feel like I should have played sadder music for what is happening to these kobolds. The one by the crate is going to grab the crowbar and attempt to open the crate.
You cannot release your women and children.
All right then. That is
no fucking dragon eggs for you.
Fortunately for y'all, that's a strength check by a kobold. Let's see. 0. He jabs the crowbar in, jumps up, intending to put all of his weight into this yank, and then he just hangs there from the crowbar. Nothing budging.
He springboards.
Oh boy. Bakrees, your turn.
I'm just noting now, it's probably a good thing that that kobold got put to sleep, because what I was gonna do to it was gonna be way worse.
I mean, you
mean,
can still do it technically.
You'll just have advantage in guaranteed criticals.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
You do have the one that threw the rock at you too.
Yeah, but I don't think I can reach with my pike from here.
Actually, your pike has a reach of 10 feet.
Ooh. Well, I guess I'm gonna poke the other one then for now.
Lightly poke him.
I'll poke him right in the nose. Teach him.
Oh no.
You're
Oh,
poking
he
him in the-
ducks. The sleepy kobold, his head like ducks. His drop. Words. His head drops a little bit as he's getting like a little sleepy, and your pike goes right over him.
You are so lucky that you didn't go for the sleeping kobold, because you would have missed a sleeping kobold.
All right. Scath, it is your turn again.
Well, he's sleeping, but I don't like this situation at all because I don't know what's back there, and I don't feel like finding out. So I'm just drifting my aim just slightly to the left and taking another shot.
All right, take that shot. 16. That is gonna hit him. Oh, 4 damage. Your arrow hits him kind of in the center, and he does like a complete loop around the crowbar. He's still holding on, but my god, he doesn't look good.
You see that? This
He's
is
trying to go to the
fun.
gymnastics team.
It's like your practice targets from back home. Dragon. That kobold's asleep. That kobold's asleep.
Yeah, back to me.
Actually,
I know that one.
the one's still there. He's gonna jump on the crowbar too. I'm gonna roll a strength check for the wounded one to see if he is able to assist. Absolutely not. So this one is not with advantage. Oh. They are pulling on this crowbar with all their little kobold might. It's just not
And
working.
it gets funner.
Bard, your turn.
This is really quite pathetic. And I'm gonna throw an ice knife at that one. And you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna double it and attack it twice.
Oh God. Oh, these poor SOBs.
13 and a 19.
Those both hit. So, oh Lord.
3, 9 plus I gotta roll 66.
I'm just gonna tell you right now, your in addition to kind of frosting up the back of the cart, your spike skewers both kobolds, and they just kind of go off into the woods.
That also hits the shield one.
Oh, your the ice
Explosion.
damage.
Yes.
Oh God. Yep. Roll that ice damage.
Could someone roll that for me because I can't do that?
Yeah, I
66,
got
which
you.
I believe he has an automatic fail for because of unconscious.
6d6 or 3d6?
6. It's 2.
Oh, well, he got you.
Regardless,
Holy fuck!
those are both fantastic rolls. He takes a frosty nap and is in the big kobold burrow in the sky.
I
As,
told you I don't just deal with fire.
You took my
Combat
kill.
has ended.
I mean, there's still that one asleep.
Combat has ended. The dwarf is asleep, and the human's just like, "Oh yeah, not bad. You took them all out. Nice."
This kobold's asleep. Can I tie him up?
Yep.
I want to head straight towards the cage.
Yeah, you hear growling,
Good. I want to get closer.
like a hissing growl.
Cool.
I go to the Dragonborn. I told you it was gonna turn out all right.
You're dead to me.
And these kobolds are dead to everyone.
Fair. I want to loot the kobold at my feet. I want
The one with the shield.
Mm-hmm.
He has a spear and he has a shield. You want the shield?
Somehow
Spear
not.
and the
You
shield
somehow
if I could.
managed not to find the shield.
I guess just a spear.
The shield looks like it's made of dragon scales.
Ooh.
Can I discard my old one and pick this one up instead?
You can certainly keep and then sell your old one.
That'll work.
I'll take your old one.
Hey, Mopey, what you got in this cage?
Is the
cargo.
so
yeah,
they're both
just
still
cargo.
alive?
Is the what still alive?
Both the people, the dwarf and
The archer, he's bleeding, but his wound doesn't look terribly serious. The dwarf is asleep.
Huh. Cargo. Uh-huh. So,
Yeah.
And why hissing?
Oh, it's living cargo.
Right, where
Could you be a bit more specific? You saw what I just did to those kobolds, right?
It's a wireling.
What color?
Blue. Think it was blue.
You guys want a pet?
I was hired to guard the carriage as we brought that to Meyerfall, but
But it appears you're a bit tied up at the moment.
yeah, I fell asleep when they attacked. Where are my manners? Name's Brahma Saratolva. And
Bakrees.
that there, kind of nodding to the dwarf, that there is a crag hack shield.
Where were you guys headed?
We're gonna pass through Port Brunswick and make our way up to Meyerfall from there.
Those casks, are those casks of ale?
One of them's grain, doesn't taste all that great, but keeps it good. One's water, and I think the middle one there, yeah, that's ale. That's the dwarves.
You
Dragonborn, do you mind helping me with this?
you often travel.
There's
this
a
kind of
cat. There's a
cargo?
cask of ale in it for you.
Why do you always ask me for help? And yet I got no payment or anything.
Hey,
Take whatever's on those two.
do we just get saved into a robbery? I feel like we just got saved into a robbery.
Well,
Yes, but you'll probably live
I'm
with us.
gonna walk over to him and place my hand on his shoulder and cast Cure Wounds.
No, thank you. That feels nice. I like the way you touch me.
that feel good touch.
You will, because you feel all better.
Yeah, his wound is completely healed. Hey,
So,
listen. I didn't do a very good job. All right, that's pretty obvious. How about we make a deal?
are you the one to really be making deals? Or should we wait for your friend to awake?
Just looking over at the dwarf. Well,
I'm gonna pick up a kobold and throw him at him.
watch out. Oh. Oh God! Like realizing he's tied up still. You're there. Can you, wow, you looking around at the dead kobolds.
I go
You
over
got
and cut the ties.
Oh, thank you. But it's nice to get some reliable help around here. This blowhard. Hey. I fell asleep. It's not my fault.
He's got a point. You fell asleep too. There. Crag, is it?
Yes, Crag Hack Shield.
Your partner here was just about to offer us a pretty nice deal. Yeah, he said you were headed to the port with
Yes, we were heading through the ports with our cargo here. It's got a letter from the government to deliver it.
I'm gonna look in through the holes.
Yeah, you see the eye of this blue dragon wormling kind of looking at you. The archer Brahm just kind of like, I wouldn't get too close to that. The box is enchanted, so he can't breathe his lightning through it. But if you get too close to the holes, it gives you a shock.
I'm gonna pull out a piece of jerky from my rations. Yeah, that's okay.
You stick it in, and you feel like a static shock run through your hand.
Not the worst that I felt.
Yeah, not enough to hurt you, but you felt the electricity right there. This dragon does not look happy. Oh God, the horses! They let the horses go.
Yes, they did.
if I look
Oh,
around, do I
God.
see tracks headed off?
There are some very obvious horse tracks leading like down the creek here.
I could probably fetch those horses for you. How much is this little task? How much is government paying you for this creature?
It's obviously paying a ton. Anything dragon related is quite a lot.
Well, I'm being paid for the transportation of the creature, not necessarily the capture. That I believe. Oh, what's her name? That the commander. Commander Mosa Glask. Ah, yes. The young one, right? The lass? Yeah, the new one. Ah, interesting. Anyway, but she captured the creature not too long ago, but went back to Meyerfall before it was not properly transported, and I was given the job, and this worthless piece of trash to guard me.
All right. You didn't answer the
Hey,
question though.
hey.
How much?
Hey, Kirk.
How much is the government paying you for this job? Do you want me to get your horses or not? You're blabbing along. Let's go.
Me, they paid about 75 gold.
You're getting ripped off there, sir. Insight check.
Yeah, go for it.
$15.
He is not lying. He was paid 75 gold for this job. And normally it's not a terribly far distance, but I charged an extra 25 for the hazard fee. They assured me that the crates would hold up, and it has. Those damn kobolds weren't able to get it open.
Any idea how the kobolds knew you were here? At which point the other kobold's probably going to be waiting.
The one that you tied up is stirring a bit. The rest are dead. They'll be sleeping forever.
Ever and ever.
Listen, Bram, you that arrow they gave you. Oh, you mean the one that got under the seat? Yes, that one. Brom goes over to the wagon, reaches under the seat, and he pulls out a really ornate-looking arrow. I want you all to roll Knowledge Arcana.
Goody.
Yeah, it's a nice-looking arrow.
Wow.
That's a nice looking toothpick you got there.
Yeah, it's they gave it to me in case the dragon got loose. It's a arrow of dragon slaying.
And they expected you to take it down with one arrow?
Hey, I may have fallen asleep, but I ain't a half-bad archer.
Still, it's a dragon.
Yeah, and this is an arrow of dragon slaying.
If every dragon could be taken down in one shot, I feel like there'd be a lot less dragons in the world.
It's a small dragon. It's a small dragon. And besides, I don't think the intent was to kill it. I believe they just gave me this arrow to ground it.
Right. Well,
Listen. We can discuss that deal in a moment. We should probably find those horses.
I'm gonna walk over to this kobold, cut off an ear.
well, the issue here is payment. I realize.
I can how I assume if you're heading this way, you're heading up to Port Brunswick, as Brom is gonna head down to try to go after the horses.
I'll go with them.
All right.
Yes, that's where we were going.
I'm throwing the kobold ear into the cage.
You hear like some angry like hiss growling.
What, are you not hungry?
It says something to you in Draconic that you I don't believe you speak Draconic.
I do not.
Yeah, It,
Do I hear it from where I am?
Yeah, you definitely hear it. Bard, you hear Lorite, which Bakrees, the dragon just told him to die.
I mean,
Oh.
I'm trying to be friendly to this fucker.
It is a chromatic dragon.
Have you thought that maybe it doesn't want you to be friendly to it?
Probably.
Clutchard. Which Bakrees, the dragon just called Bard a devil spawn.
Yeah, I'd get away from that cage if I were you. He's not too happy with you.
The dragon, you see its eyes kind of shift inside the crate, and it's now looking at you, Bakrees. And it is staring at you. Free me now, and my father will be pleased.
It's honestly super tempting. It's so goddamn tempting. And draconic. Well, I don't quite know how to get you out of that magical box, so I guess you're just gonna have to work with it.
I will dine on your flesh upon my freedom.
Right.
While it's turned away from me, I'm gonna toss in another piece of jerky.
It kind of looks at it, looks at you kind of really resentingly, and you hear some chewing.
See there, can't we just be friends? As I'm gonna wink at it.
Anyways, dwarf.
Very quickly, Bakrees, roll insight with disadvantage because you can't quite see the dragon.
Ooh!
With disadvantage, unfortunately.
Damn it!
It reacted to whatever Bard just did, but you can't quite read it through the cage.
I'm not gonna worry about it.
All right. So Braum and Scath, the horses aren't that far.
Mm-hmm.
They're down in the river, like drinking. Oh, there they are. Good thing they didn't go very. Oh, are you winded yet? I feel winded.
I'm so
You
tempted
ride a
to
lot of
cast
carts,
Shadow.
do you?
Yeah. Let's get the horses back up.
I think that'd be best.
You're lucky I can't cast Shatter. I was scared the shit out of those horses.
Scath, roll animal handling.
Oh boy.
Yeah, your horse does not want to come, but eventually Brahm's like, hey, take it easy, take it. Look at me, look in the horse in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
You got a job to do. All right, let's get back over there. And he eventually leads the horses back over.
I definitely give him a strange look. Man, those horses.
All right, we're gonna fast forward just a moment as the horses are hitched back up to the wagon. Braum and Crag take up their positions, and Crag kind of looks to you. All right, I holds out a bag for whoever to take it. I got 25 gold here. You can take this now, and once I get to a bit of a rest down in the ports there. What do you wish to do to? The kobold is struggling against his restraints right now.
Throw him in the creek.
Bakrees, you just hear this kobold. No, free the young master. Free the young master.
What color is this? Are these kobolds?
They are red, but they have like I should have mentioned this previously. They have like blue streaks of paint across their face.
That would have been useful.
Would have been a subtle hint, but you guys got all the information there was to get. To be fair, you didn't look at their faces too much as you were systematically tearing them apart.
I mean, the archer literally put a mark on one of their faces.
Mm-hmm.
With that spear, I'm gonna walk right next to that sleeping one and
Oh, he's awake now. I forgot to take the marker off him.
just
He's
anyone
struggling against. He's
have
struggling
any
against
use
the
for this
restraint.
thing at all. Anything. No.
Just get it over with. We got places to go.
I'm gonna just stab it right through his goddamn head.
He's dead.
Shall we go, gentlemen?
I'm gonna grab his sling and grab my rope.
All right, you have an old kobold sling and a few smoothed out rocks.
I'm sitting on top of the crate.
Uh, Craig just kind of look at you. I'm not sure I would do that.
It tingles my ass. I like it.
All right. How do I want to do this?
Tell me how gruesomely I die.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna treat it as you getting hit with its breath weapon, but you automatically make the dex save. Because this box was enchanted, but it's still metal, and this dragon is still breathing lightning. No, it doesn't really. Disappointing. All right, I guess that's why we have a dice roll.
4d10. I'm gonna die.
You automatically succeed.
I'm gonna die.
So you take 10 lightning damage as lightning just courses through this crate.
I hop off.
Still,
And I do food. And I'm gonna throw in another piece of jerky.
Bakrees hears the dragon yell, "I am not a throne."
I wasn't sitting on you.
This dragon's salty. This dragon is very salty. And apparently has no
He says he's not a throne. You should probably just try and give him some space. He's a little bit agitated.
Crag says, "Yeah, wish we could offer you a ride, but unfortunately with that lightning crate there's not a lot of room, but how about this? What are your names? What are your names? I'll get to the tavern. I'll buy each of you a room and ale for the rest of the night. How's that sound?"
And how about you give us that cast of yours?
The what?
The cast of ale.
Oh, the cask of ale. But
It's thanks to us that you can even enjoy it ever again.
Roll persuasion.
You are trying to part a dwarf with ale. That's very
19.
All right. It's filthy commoner stats. No modifiers. He rolls good, but he's like, "Oh, all right. If you can get it out, it's yours."
Fuck you. Can I get some help here?
Afraid you're on your own there.
This is your endeavor, not mine.
Bram just kind of looks at the crag. Why don't you just offload it at the tavern and they can get it there rather than carry it? Since we all got it all nice and stored away up in here. Crag kind of looks to Bard. Is that acceptable?
Fine.
It's not a very long walk. You should be in Port Brunswick in under an hour.
You spend a lot of time in the port, Crag.
Port Brunswick, not all that much. I travel up and down the Copper Coast quite often, but never stay there for too long. It's a small port. There isn't too many packages that get delivered there. Most things get brought up to Meyerfall.
See, that's actually where we were headed to. Meyerfall.
And how did you come to be here? Did you travel up from one of the other ports, or?
Yeah. There are a lot of carriages and such that head from the port up to Meyerfall.
All right. We'll go on. We'll go on ahead, and we'll see you at the tavern in about an hour. Yeah. He cracks his whip, and the horses move forward.
Bye, sweetie. As I blow a little kiss.
All right. So you all continue forward. It takes a little while for Brahm and Crag to get out of your line of sight. And so how do you all feel just murdering a bunch of kobolds? That encounter was so much easier for you than I thought it would be.
Just
Sorcerer, baby. We are gods at early level, then fall off the face of the earth.
I mean, the real problem is if you don't take out the kobolds, obviously the dragon gets loose. But you took 3 of them out almost immediately.
I didn't get like to kill a single one, besides the one that was tied up and couldn't do anything. Aww. I got a GIF all set up and everything. It was gonna be great, just so I could properly have you guys visualize what was gonna happen to that kobold with the shield. It was gonna be great.
There will be opportunities to come for murder. All right, so you guys have a brief moment to converse as you are walking forward towards the port.
felt good to shoot something that actually bleeds.
I still feel like that flying sword's coming for us at some point.
That is not. That's
My God.
I'm gonna look around real quick. Do I happen to see any shiny pieces of metal?
You can roll perception.
That's a good point.
We're scared, okay? 'Cause I know you do this sort of stuff.
Paranoia.
It has been following us the entire time, and we just don't know it.
It's in my back pocket.
You guys don't see anything, minus the
I
tracks
haven't
you're
rolled yet.
leaving. All right. Does Bard see anything? Bard doesn't see anything either. Oh boy.
I'm gonna rip off on that bird's legs and just pull off a few of the feathers. Start eating.
All right. So you all make your way down the trail, and Scath, it felt so good. It wasn't goblins, but close enough.
Yeah.
They bleed, they're small, they scurry around, do funny things when you shoot at them.
The Tiefling stole my kill though, so that's not cool.
I stole everyone's kill.
I marked it. All right.
To be fair, I wasn't exactly aiming for it.
He did mark it.
Maybe you should try to aim.
All right. So, eventually, you guys kind of go up a small hill, and once you reach the peak of it, you see what you can only assume to be Port Brunswick. And Crag wasn't kidding. It's not a particularly large port. In fact, you see one ship docked currently that looks like it's smaller than Leviathan spawn was. Looks like it could probably house probably just under 100 people. But as you approach the hill, you hear a very stern halt. Who goes there? And you all turn and you see two men, each of them holding spears and shields at the ready. They wear chain shirts with kind of red cloth over it, and they have a symbol on their on the front of it in white.
You said we
Blow
turned
it up.
around, so they're behind us?
They were kind of like off to the side of the Forgot to throw this in the handouts quick. Just one moment. And he's like, state your business.
Ale, food, and sleep.
Just a traveling bard.
A bard? How? The two guards kind of just look at each
He
other.
sings. So tavern would be great to fill all of our needs. And you seem like the sorts that could point us in the right direction.
There is a tavern in town, but this perhaps isn't the best time for partying.
I'm gonna pull out my flute and just play a little melody.
Oh, is everything okay with Osri?
Roll performance.
Oh God.
Oh, fuck you, even with proficiency.
It's okay. Like it's you don't impress them, but you don't embarrass yourself either.
Wait, I'm much better with the bagpipes. Just let me blow them up. I'm gonna spend like 2 minutes blowing up my bagpipes.
Oh God, that's not necessary.
So you were saying, there's something wrong in town? Is Osri okay?
Who's Osri?
Oh, I see. Well, anyone with ale, honestly, it doesn't have to be a tavern. A house. Someone's got to have something to drink. It's been a long.
Osri. The how do you know that bastard?
You know, I hear things, and some fellow, Crag, dwarven. He should be here. Did you see a wagon? Crag half in shield, half his shield, and his partner Brom. I think was it Broom?
What one of the guards
I think it was
room.
One of the guards looks at him. That's true. Brom and Crag did pass through here a little while ago.
Good.
Oh.
They should be expecting us then.
Okay. I finally uploaded the symbol that they have on the front of their armor. The guards just kind of look at each other. Listen, I don't know if this is the town you want to stay in right now. There's a murder investigation going on.
I hate to tell you, that's yeah, that's pretty common.
Well, typically not ones that have well, let's just say the murder, from what we hear, the method of the killing was of the arcane nature.
An arcane murderer? Who would ever do something like that?
quite unfortunate.
Oh my.
Look, again, we're not we don't need much. Just they give us what we'll pay. What we hell, I'll even cook the food. So we'll stay out of everybody's way. And to be honest, we're not looking to stay very long. Here, finish our dealings with Crag, and well, we'll be out before you know it. But it's been a long day. It's been quite long. We could just use a bit of quiet.
It's quite a performance. 24 for performance on the bagpipes.
Oh Lord. You start playing the bagpipes, and the guards kind of look at each other like, "Oh, hey, yeah, that's pretty good, actually."
I told you I was much better with these.
I said quiet, Bard. A bit of quiet tonight.
But
one of the guards just
in
kind
the case of a murder, isn't it best to get people's spirits up with a bit of music?
That's what the mead is for.
One of the guards is just like, listen, I'll escort you into town. I'll have to meet up with the captain, make sure that she knows that you're here, so you'll be informed of the investigation, told to stay out of the way, yada yada yada. Have a good night at the Bad Ore. Feel free. And just kind of like waves his hand a bit. Let's go.
But I just inflated my bagpipes.
And you were quite good.
Oh my god.
All right. As you guys are walking away, you hear the one guard that's staying. Wasn't bad on those bagpipes. Wonder if he does weddings.
My god.
All right, so you guys head into town, and you enter kind of in the top right here, and this large kind of T-shaped building by the docks there. You see a sign made out of what used to be an ore that reads "The Bad Ore."
Yeah.
And the guard just says, "Go on inside, get acquainted. I'll see if the captain's available to, I don't know, brief use civilian terms. She'll tell you what's going on." And just leans in a little bit to, "You didn't hear it from me, but hear that there's a bit of a bounty on the murderer." Don't-
Who's the Mobad?
All right, just letting you know, and I don't remember the exact amount is, but an arcane murder. Someone's gonna have quite the price on their head. He just kind of walks away. Stay out of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
All right, do you guys head into the tavern?
I'm gonna have my flute at the ready. If there's any like music going on, I'm gonna join in.
All right, you walk in, and it's a pretty basic tavern. You see a collection of tables, see a few humans, and some half elves playing cards. Behind the bar, you see two large casks of ale, it's basically tap, and you see on kind of like what has to be some sort of a raised platform, a halfling cleaning a glass. It's a bit older, probably in his mid to late 40s, kind of dark, short hair. He just kind of nods at you as you walk in.
Who grabbed the money? Was it Bakrees or Bard? Which one of you?
I suggest Bakrees because he did the whole decoy thing.
All right, so Bakrees, you were given the 25 gold pieces.
I promise you get paid.
Think drinks are on you. I'll go find us a place to sit.
right.
I'll go up to the barkeep. If I put on a little bit of lively show, could you give me, my friends here, a little drink?
I'm not
Are
affiliated with
you?
him.
You're the the dwarf. He came by, and he bought you drink. He bought you drinks. He gave me 10 gold worth of drinks, which should have you set for a few days. And he just slams 3 tankards of ale down on the bar.
Oh, baby.
Well, do you mind if I make a little show of myself? As I just take it down.
Are you any good?
I'm
Cause
the
I
most
had to.
amazing bard that you have ever seen. Perhaps, maybe. I don't know. How many bards have you seen?
4.
Well, I'm definitely.
I'm taking 2 tankards and walking over to Scath.
Mm.
Let him do his thing.
As I'm gonna pull out the flute and just flip the helmet around and have it as like a little tip thing going around.
All right. Roll performance. Oh
Good
man.
luck.
Yeah. You know what it was? There was sand in your flute. Now that you got that out, sounds great. As you move around playing, you do that. Scath, you find a. I mean, there's only like 7 tables here. You find one that's kind of in the corner, away from where the guys are playing cards, and you see another halfling. Looks. There are several empty tankards, like on the table by this passed out halfling.
I'll go sit across from him and just stare at him for a bit. Just awkwardly.
The passed out halfling.
Yep, just staring.
He's like he's out. He just yeah. Why not on me? Like he's out. It's like late afternoon by the time you guys finally get here. Bit early to be hammered, but that didn't seem to stop him.
Are there any tankards with a bit left in them?
Several.
Oh yeah, yeah. Combine all that up into one.
Yeah, you get another tankard.
Yeah, there's no reason to let that go.
You're fucking suiciding that shit.
All right. So Bakrees, do you sit down as well?
Yep. Tankards in
Alright.
hand, ready to go.
All right. You just kind of like chugging and everything.
Yep.
It feels just a tad somber in here for a tavern. Like even with the music playing, like Bart's actually kind of rocking the flute. One of the half elves is starting to kind of like tap his foot, and eventually the door swings open.
Come on, be merry.
You all look and you see a 6'5" female dragonborn,
That's all I
full
like.
plate armor, great sword on her back, silver scales. Step in. There are 2 guards behind her. Everyone kind of stops what they're doing and looks for a moment and then goes back to what they're doing as the dragonborn walks up to the bar. Osri? Yeah, Captain Comic. I trust you've heard the news already. Yeah, quite tragic. She was pretty. She attracted a lot of the guys into the bad ore, but oh well. We all die eventually. You never cease to keep the mood light and airy.
Is this the human?
No, the dragonborn. As she kind of looks to you, Bard, as you're walking around playing the flute. these the kind of looks back. One of the guards with her is the one that brought you guys up here, and he's like, yes, Captain. These are the ones that just came in. Interesting. You there, pointing to Bard and kind of generally just the area where Bakrees and Scath are sitting. Have a moment.
I look over to Bakrees.
Kind of in the middle of a show.
Not even a night of sleep, huh?
Never fucking ends.
Down half a tankard of leftover semi-warm, possibly spit-filled ale.
That's attractive.
Oh boy. You all kind of sit down at the table, kind of two over from where the passed out halfling is, and she pulls out of the chair, sits down. The two guards are kind of behind her. Hello. I assume you are the ones that Crag spoke of, the ones that rescued him from the kobolds.
Mm,
One and the same.
Mayhaps.
Can't say you were terribly hard to spot. Kind of looking at Bard. Tieflings certainly aren't rare around here. Aren't common around here.
Same either with Dragonborn.
Dragonborn are not all that rare in Eladria, although looking directly at Bakrees, chromatic scale Dragonborns are much less common in Eladria.
Speaking of scales, may I say that your scales look quite lovely tonight. Quite shiny. Almost as shiny as your armor.
Here we go.
So, Captain, I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
Captain Hirin Komik. Spelled HIRINNKOMMIC.
So,
Captain
I
Conan,
hear
lovely.
somebody done died, and it was one of them magic users that did it.
Well, that's possibly it, but the nature of the murder is strange, to say the least. I believe I heard from Crag that and Brahm that one of you is a practitioner of the arcane. Is everyone just looking at Bard?
Yeah, I'm just staring directly at him.
No.
Oh,
I don't
me
call him out.
never touch the stuff. Maybe a little, but not in the violent way.
The
barnacle
bounty
nest based on
currently
fire.
on the 300 gold pieces.
Hell, at that rate, I may want to just turn myself in.
Unfortunately, the local mage is out right now, and we do not have an arcane practitioner to help us with this obviously arcane murder.
You, sure it wasn't the mage that did it?
I'm sure he's off to the mage tower in Myrefall on official business, and I
So how was the
don't-
corpse? Turned inside out, burnt to a crisp, soul ripped from the body?
She drowned
That doesn't sound very arcane.
in the middle of her kitchen.
That sounds a bit more arcane.
And the woman's name was Thora Alcott. She was a seamstress, but very much liked in the community. It's a shame her husband was declared dead not long ago himself, and their sons were both enlisted in the army and probably don't even know. Unfortunately, the murderer picked just about the worst time to commit a murder.
Is there a good time to commit murder?
Certainly
Yes,
better
when no
than
one is
others.
looking.
But I will say that a bad time was certainly when Port Brunswick was testing out a new arcane alarm system. Though
An alarm
it's
system, you say?
yes, a series of. Have you heard of the alarm spell?
Mayhaps.
It works in a similar fashion, but spreads its effects in a ring around a large location.
So would it work something like this as I tap my helmet and cast light on it?
A bit, except the captain raises her hand and shows her palm, and there is this really elaborate arcane sigil like tattooed onto her hand. Except me being the one in charge, I of course have control over it, and I know whenever a living being comes and goes from this port. I can tell you right now, no one has left since the murder, meaning that they are likely still here in Brunswick.
But if it was if it was an arcane matter, wouldn't they have a way to get around arcane spells?
Perhaps, but I had the guards search, and there's not any indication anyone has left. No footprints, no camps out in the woods, nothing. And it just so happens 3 individuals that can't possibly be the murderer have walked into the port.
So, let me get this straight. You want us to do your investigative business.
I want you to assist, and should you choose to do so, I certainly won't force you to stay here. The 300 gold is yours. I'll even add a carriage ride to a location of your choosing.
Here we go.
Now that's a bit more interesting.
Normally,
Nah,
I
it's
wouldn't.
too much to hope for 300 gold each.
Unfortunately, not. I'm not authorized to give bounty on anything over 300 at the moment.
How about
Nor-
free stays here in the tavern until the investigation is complete? Make sure we always have a place to call home at the end of the night.
I believe Crag paid for your first night here, but as long as room and board is needed, the government will provide.
Guess we'll have to
I acknowledge that this offer is quite generous and, if not a bit sudden, but, well, the nature of the killing has me concerned.
Was there just one victim?
Currently, but if the murderer remains here, I'm afraid we're all in danger.
Have any murders happened in recent time that don't seem arcane, or any murders of an arcane in the past?
No murders. As I mentioned, the victim's husband was pronounced dead not long ago. His cane washed up on shore. Most people believe that the man committed suicide. Elliot was a former soldier himself, but after he was maimed by a group of goblins, he returned and, well, honestly, it just seemed like his wife wasn't in it anymore.
Now,
Any
a question completely off topic. What? You're the one who fought that dragon, weren't you? The wormling.
You mean the one that Crag brought in?
Yes.
No, that was Commander Mosa Galask down in the
Commander-
other Port Brunswick.
Commander Moza Galask under General Morkin Draces, General of Meyerfall.
I stand corrected.
Any other visitors here in town recently?
With the exception of the carriage, no. We did have some locals leave, not all. Thorther Werbeck and Zarek Argath, two hunters, but they left on a trip and are expected back for a few days at the least.
That was those two boys. Yeah, they seem to be doing fine. They were out on a hunt.
So you can verify that at the very least they couldn't have been in. Where did you see them exactly?
I have no idea. Down the beach, about a half a day's away. I can't verify anything, though. I know I came across two individuals. One seemed to be named Thorther. That's a very unique name. And they left us to go tend to some traps. They said they were on a hunt. That's all I know there. But
Well, their alibi checks out. Well,
They did seem rather looty. We did meet them trying to loot our bodies.
noted. I'll have to have a conversation with them when they return.
well,
But
they
do we
did
have
think we were dead, so I wouldn't fault them for that. Can't say no one else has gone through the pockets of a dead man before. Or is that just me?
Nah, just you.
I look. Just you.
Of course.
Apparently, he's never stepped foot on a battlefield.
As you say that, Bakrees, the captain kind of turns to you. And you, judging by that pole arm you have, you know your way around a battlefield?
Been there, done that.
Because as I said, Dragonborns of the chromatic variety are not all that common in Eladria, although I do know a place where they are very common. You wouldn't happen to be familiar with Eprium, up in the northeast corner of the continent.
Heard the name tossed around once or twice.
I'm debating whether or not you have to
Technically not lying. So probably in deception with advantage.
I'll have the captain roll insight against. I'll have you roll deception, Bakrees.
Damn it!
With advantage because
no.
because he's not technically telling a lie.
I gotta really get off my whole cast mindset. I can't get away with shit like that.
The rogue was better at deception.
Way better.
All right. I think Bard's
Are you
argument
really-
is true. It's like a half lie. I will give.
Are you really in the predicament to be able to ask us questions right now when asking for our help?
You aren't hiding anything that would implicate you as potential enemies of Eladria, would you?
No, none whatsoever. I seem very trustworthy.
Oh my god. Her insight roll does not detect anything.
Little, like, just tap my horns. I'm as honest as a saint.
I'm just here to make a penny.
Well, you will certainly find yourselves quite a lucrative haul should you manage to provide any useful intel. Typically, I wouldn't resort to help from outsiders so abruptly, but If the murderer is still here, I want them caught now. If this offer appeals to you, I can escort you to the murder site and you may begin your investigation there.
Look,
Might be better to
there's
start tomorrow.
there's been some ocean. We've had
Come
to
on,
fight.
guys.
We
We
fought
can at
a
least take a
knight,
look.
And there was a knight there. There was these kobolds. I need.
I did hear about the kobolds from Crag.
I did
Interesting.
quite a number on them.
Well, since your room is already paid for, I can certainly escort you to the murder site tomorrow and you can begin there, but
Seeing as I'm the one of the arcane variety, can I at least take a look at it?
absolutely. You two, getting up, enjoy your drinks for the night. Osri, open up a tab for me, will you? Yeah. Just the halfling. Same glass, by the way, still rubbing it.
A man with conviction and that stick to their guns. I like it.
All right. So you two begin drinking as let's get
Do I start seeing them in weird ways that make me question my sexuality?
I mean every time you close your eyes.
Nice.
Just gonna grab a bard token. You guys are brought, or Bard is brought to this house up north. It looks cozy. It's a pretty standard looking house. Some chopped wood out front with an axe. There's window and a faint smell of like something like burning, like something burnt.
Oh, burnt, not burning. Okay.
And
Just to smell my desire for you.
can you repeat that?
Just smell my desire for you.
Listen, just hurry up with the investigation. The smell bothers me.
Yes. And they head inside.
All right. Bard, you walk in to what looks like a kitchen area, and oh boy, this looks weird. The body has been removed from the kitchen, but there's an obvious kind of clean spot where it was. There are streaks of what looks like some sort of red sludge all over the kitchen.
Yummy.
And as you look up, this red sludge has kind of been smeared onto the ceiling in the shape of an A in this bright red, and you kind of just follow the trail with your eyes. It's like half this kitchen at least is just covered in this red sludge, but as you follow the trail, it kind of dilutes a bit and eventually looks more just like someone spilled water somewhere, ending at the window.
Does it go out the window at all?
It ends on the windowsill.
I'm gonna take a quick look around, and I'm gonna look at that red sludge to see if I can get what it might be made.
Roll knowledge arcana.
21.
Oh boy. Oh boy, that's very good. As you are looking at this sludge, there's just something like familiar about this. Like you feel like you've heard about something like this. Uh like obviously like the red is blood, and eventually the blood ran out, and whatever this thing was out the window. It's kind of like it slithered all around the floor, climbing up the ceiling and the roof. And it is distinctly an A. Like there is no other like marks on the ceiling except for this obvious a big red A. Props for anyone that gets that reference. And as you look out the window, it's an ooze of some sort, but you have a moment where it just clicks. The victim drowned, blood drained from their body. You read a book on these once, a book on evil creatures and dark rituals. You think this might be the work of what is known as a slithering tracker.
Do I know like what they do typically? Because I don't know what that.
I will. Whoops, wrong folder. Let me give you access to the sheet I have. Should be in your journal now.
All I see is a picture.
You see the picture of the slithering ooze, though, or slithering tracker.
Yes.
All right, that's what you're dealing with.
Okay.
You you don't remember every, but you do remember some things from that book. They're created through dark rituals, and typically are people that are driven by revenge.
Oh, we got a lovers quarrel right here.
And by the way, in here, you that burnt smell. She was obviously cooking something that burnt before she was found.
Okay. I go over to like the stove or kitchen or like whatever that smell's coming from.
It looks like a burnt chicken. It's kind of in a fireplace, kind of with a skewer through it that's meant to kind of go over the fireplace. And it's black. It is very black.
Don't eat it, please.
I'm not gonna eat it, but I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna go throw it into the woods. Like throw it out the window.
All right.
Throw it very far.
Hearing hearing that, the captain's just kind of, did you find anything?
I found old dinner and what's causing that smell.
Yes, the chicken. Most of the men were a little bit afraid to go in there, but so it goes. As you finish up your investigation, we're just gonna go over to Bakrees and Scath for a little bit. Are you guys continuing to drink? Are you heading into your rooms?
We're violently drunk and kissing each other in the mouth now. And making everyone uncomfortable.
Please, you're making the halfling want to join in.
Oh god.
I love this party.
This is great.
Yeah, a lot of bro talk, and then bro talk, maybe a bit of daddy talk, but that comes after the second or third tanker.
You know, a couple bro jobs, a little bit of bro teen, you know, the
Yeah.
usual. I'm too tired for this.
All right.
You're not
so,
tired enough for this.
Yeah, I think it's just
Yeah.
a lot of I don't think there's anything necessarily important or character developing that happens. It's just two men of different races share a lovely time of getting sloshed. And
All right, I want you to both roll Constitution saving.
goody.
God.
Let's see who remembers tonight.
Scath, you are taking it like a champ. You are both
Yes.
like
Oh, yeah.
you are veterans.
This is
Yes.
this
I
is
like
no
it.
game. This is life.
Uh,
God, this is gonna be fucking hell.
all right. Osri kind of waddles over the little halfling, reaching up over his head and putting another tray of drinks down for you.
Thank you.
Yep, just don't go overboard. Make sure you can at least get to your rooms.
We'll make it work.
Will that
Keep bringing 'em
require
around about
going
every 5
up or downstairs?
We have 2 rooms available on the ground floor and one up.
So I think that's a no then. All right, there's a few extra drinks.
That's easily an extra 10.
Do you want to check out the rooms? Put your weapons in there. Make sure everything's in order.
Is that Bakrees? You've been around a bit more than me. Is that normal for them to offer us to check out the rooms? Should we be expecting something, or can we just sit here and drink for a little bit longer?
Let's just sit here and drink.
Oh, all right.
Much appreciated, though, Osri.
Okay.
Got any food back there? Seems like a place with fish. I could go for some fish.
Oh yeah, we got a barrel of fish. It's he just kind of walks over. This halfling walks with like just a slight limp as he goes over to a barrel on the other side of the bar and pulls out 2 strips of salted meat and brings them over. Oh, here you go.
Much appreciated.
You guys must be doing that murder thing if you're getting all your stuff paid for.
I
Guess so. I mean,
is
free
it,
money, free drinks.
Is that normal, Osri, for your captain to go around just, finding any random folk that comes in and getting them to help her?
Oh well, I think it's a bit personal actually. Miss Alcott was good friends with the captain.
Now, how good of friends are we talking?
Oh, good friends. A lot of people a bit afraid of the captain, because Captain Dragonborn. Heard she once cut an ogre's head off and beat another ogre to death with it.
I like her.
Yep, she takes the army thing pretty seriously.
As anyone should.
About this time, Bard, do you make your way back to the tavern?
Yes.
All right.
Swear to the gods, you bring out that flute or that fucking pipe one more time, you're not find them in the morning.
I'm pulling out the flute.
And the bagpipe.
Actually,
He's gonna
how
attempt to
much
play them
gold?
both.
How much gold is in my little helmet, or like how many coins?
Let me roll for that.
It's a 21 performance.
21. You got 25 gold from it.
Holy fuck! I don't want to put these people out of house and home.
Yeah, you're a little bit surprised by that. These people apparently have some money. At least some of them do.
Okay, and just little back and forth flirtatious shit with with the captain as I walk back, but nothing too serious.
She pretty much ignores you.
I like all the women.
That's why I switched to men.
All right.
Oh god.
So yeah, so Bard sits down. Bard, these guys have like 5 empty tankards in front of them already.
You got the party started without me?
You left.
I swear to God, if you don't stop blowing on that thing, I'm gonna punch you in the nose.
There's probably a fork or a piece of cutlery on the table.
Yeah, you got some silver with the salted meat.
How far away is he with these bagpipes right now?
Probably at the door still.
There's a bit of like a little entryway that opens up into the main area, so you're probably just at the end of the entryway. All right, if you're gonna do that, Scath, roll a
I'm gonna
do
try
a
to just
rain.
throw it. I'm leaning. You know, I'm
We'll,
not.
we'll treat it like a dagger throw.
Sure.
Mm.
Is that just Dex?
I really hope it pops it.
Yes.
I believe just roll Dex because this would be an improvised weapon, so you wouldn't get your proficiency bonus.
Ooh, yeah.
Bard, a table knife goes flying over your head.
No, that's a good. No, is that a way to treat your friendly bard?
I'm gonna take another piece of cutlery and throw it at him.
Roll Dex.
It lands
knife-
right next to the other table knife and just embeds into the wall.
That's why
The knife lands like on the table where the people playing cards, and they all just put their hands up like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Ozri's like, just kind of walks over. Yeah, I appreciate you not throwing the cutlery.
Not a fan of music, are you?
quiet, I said. A night of mead, meat, and quiet.
Emphasis on the quiet part.
It just kind of looks. Ozri kind of looks to Bard. If you want to set any of your things in your room, I'll lead you over.
If you want to play with your bag, take it in your room.
What I do is not playing. It is an art.
I don't
Oh,
care what
God,
you
here
call
we
it.
go.
Take it to your room.
Are there any new people in the tavern?
There's a half orc at the bar now who's got he's double fisting. He is double fisting 2 tankards.
What a man.
I'll call out. You guys wanted me to go to bed as well? I did put on a good performance for them.
There's probably like 8, 9 people besides you guys in here. Kind of like there's some murmuring, and you just hear one of them. Play. Oh, the halfling that passed out like raises his head. Put the bagpipes away. Give us the flute. Puts his head back down.
Is that Kurgan at the bar?
No,
I'll deflate the bagpipes. And I pull out the flute. I gotta get the people what they want.
If this keeps up, we're gonna have a second murder case in this town.
I'm grabbing some pieces of the bread and shoving it in my ears.
I love how Bard is completely like forgone informing them of this information about the murder. It's like back to pretending to be a bard.
Not pretending to be a bard. He was raised to be a bard. He just didn't want to be a bard.
Bards don't get ice knives.
Technically, they do.
True. All right. So, as we fade out on this scene, Bard merrily walking through the tavern, playing his flute, Scath shoving bread into his ears, and Bakrees chugging yet more ale. It seems that despite the obvious danger, the party is finding time to enjoy life, enjoy adventuring. They've cheated death once already and prepared to do it many times again in the future. And when they come back, maybe they will finally get to this murder investigation.
Oh, maybe. Probably not.
No, too many bagpipes to be played.
I concur.
All
Why
right.
do you people get bagpipes?
We'll end it there. Hope you guys enjoyed that session. You guys blew right through that kobold encounter.